over to our first camp, and that is Camp Kodiak. So go ahead.
Hi, thank you. My name is Alana Stock. I'm one of the directors of Camp Kodiak, and it's really nice to be here with all of you tonight. So I'm just going to share my screen. I've got a couple of slides, and here we go. So some of you might have heard of us before, and for others of you, it's your first time. That's great. And as it was said, please feel free to send me messages with questions that you might have about our program, our facilities, our population, whatever you are wondering. Who are our campers? Our campers are 6 to 18 years old. They have a learning disability or learning disabilities, ADHD, or high functioning autism spectrum disorder, what used to be diagnosed as Asperger's syndrome. All of our campers must be able to independently manage all aspects of their daily living and personal care skills. Our cabins are grouped strategically so that campers are with their true peers, because we want to make sure that campers are with other people who are age appropriate, but also socially appropriate, so that they can make those important social connections and actually begin to develop genuine friendships with them. And they spend most of their time with their cabin group. So it's really important that we really carefully consider who they're grouped with, so that we're thinking about commonalities and we're thinking about personalities that will work well together. Our program has a variety of different elements to it. First of all, we have a 2-to-1 camper to staff ratio around camp, and living in the cabins themselves, it's 3-to-1, and sometimes better than 3-to-1. We have an academic program from Monday to Friday for just 50 minutes right after breakfast as an opportunity to review and reinforce skills and concepts so that they're not lost or forgotten over the summer. So it's very informal. It's done outside at picnic tables in small groups led by certified teachers. And then we have other counselors as well who are working in smaller groups as tutors. So the teachers are the ones who formulate the programs, and we formulate those programs based on information that we collect from campers' teachers to ensure that we're covering those concepts and skills that need to be reviewed. After the academic period is over, the rest of the day is just fun activities. Now, for those campers who are not participating in the academic tutoring, those campers are engaged in activities that are still academic in nature. So it might be something like pottery or stained glass, learning to play guitar, vocal music, building Rube Goldberg machines, or other STEM and mad science kinds of activities. First aid, learning to play chess, photography, video, cartooning, drama, martial arts. These activities are, as I said, more academic, and also that way we don't have some campers who are off horseback riding and water skiing while other kids are doing reading, writing, and math review, because that just wouldn't seem fair to anyone. We also have a social skills program that's embedded into everything we do. From the moment our campers wake up until the moment they go to bed, they are learning, refining, and having positive social skills reinforced. And we do this in context because we know that there are a lot of our campers who are really good at giving the right response and know how to answer correctly when a social skills lesson is given out of context. They know how to do it, but then applying it is that much more difficult. So by teaching social skills in context, we find that campers are better able to understand how to apply them successfully, and then we refine them along the way. And we find that campers are far more susceptible to learning social skills this way because it doesn't seem out of the ordinary. It's just happening on the go, and staff learn how to find and also create those teachable moments. We have a leader in training program for our 16 to 18-year-old campers, where not only do they learn how to develop leadership skills, but they have an opportunity to volunteer for a variety of different leadership roles around camp. Some of them are more vocational in nature, so helping us sort all the emails and packages in the office, or helping out in our tuck shop with filling orders and inventory. And then other opportunities involve working with counselors or campers at specific activity areas. And then, just like any camp, we have lots of activities, and we have over 50 different activities, from a full waterfront with water skiing, wakeboarding, kneeboarding, sailing, canoeing, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, inflatables. We're on a nice, beautiful lake, archery, land sports like softball, soccer, basketball, floor hockey, tennis. We also have high ropes and rock climbing, horseback riding, arts and crafts, pottery, stained glass, photography, video. We even have fencing. So we have a wide assortment of activities so that campers can find and nurture those hidden talents. Our staff are quite different from those that you find at traditional camps. We have professionals from a variety of fields. We have many teachers on staff, social workers, child and youth care workers, people who work in the recreation fields, because those people bring an added level of knowledge and experience to our counseling group. The rest of our counselors are all university and college students. They have to have completed at least 1 year of post-secondary in order to work at camp. So in each cabin, there are 3 counselors. At least one of them is a professional, and then the other 2, or sometimes just one, there might be 2 professionals in the cabin, and the other counselor or counselors are university and college students. Our health care center has a doctor, 3 nurses, and usually 1 nursing student. And this year we'll be looking to add another nursing student just because of the demands of what this summer might bring with COVID. Our 3 directors are all certified teachers. Myself and my 2 sisters are the directors, and I actually resigned from my full-time teaching position to take on this role full-time about 5 years ago. And my 2 sisters are current teachers in the Peel District School Board. One of them is a special education teacher and has been her entire career. And my other sister is a kindergarten teacher. That's her specialty. Our 2 assistant directors are also teachers. So we have a lot of teachers on staff and in our administration team, and that brings a lot of knowledge and experience to both our staff training and also to addressing the needs of our campers. Here's an aerial shot of our camp. We have over 400 acres. We're on a beautiful lake called Moffat Lake. It's not that easy to find on a map because it is kind of small, but the benefit is that it warms up really nicely in July, and then it stays warm for the rest of the summer. So it's not a struggle to get campers into the lake because the water's too cold. Campers are always happy to get in because it's always really nice. Our cabins are beautiful wooden cabins, tongue and groove design. There is a bathroom in each cabin with a toilet stall. In the boys' cabins, there's also a urinal, 2 sinks, and a shower stall. So what's nice about that is that we don't have to worry about campers who wake up in the middle of the night and are either too scared to go out to a wash house and end up having an accident in the cabin or in their bed, or are concerned about having to wake up a friend or buddy to go to a wash house. So by having those bathrooms right in the cabin, we find that to be a really big benefit for our campers. Our health center staff are available 24 hours a day. At night, there's always a nurse who is on duty. And so if anything comes up after lights out, a counselor can take a camper to the health center and those needs will be addressed right away. We're located only 25 minutes from the local hospital, which is in Parry Sound, and we're located in a small town called McKellar, Ontario. And that's just a 2.5-hour drive from Toronto. Oh, and sorry, just to mention, all of our counselors live in the cabin with the kids, and after lights out, there is a counselor on duty from lights out until midnight. At midnight, then that counselor can go to sleep. So our application process is quite simple. You just have to go to our website, complete and submit a camper application, and the process is very straightforward. You just have to create an account and then follow the instructions. Then you'll be contacted by one of our admin team, and we'll be looking to set up a time to meet with you and the prospective camper. That way we can make sure that our program is going to meet your camper's needs and also to learn more about them. It's an opportunity for you and your camper to ask questions so that any concerns or uncertainties are addressed, and so that we can make sure that we have an appropriate cabin group available. So as we know, COVID-19 has posed a lot of challenges and interesting situations for all of us. We have a lot of uncertainty still, but we are quite likely to be employing at least some of these strategies to help mitigate the incidence of COVID or to prevent transmission. So yes, we'll probably be cohorting masks, testing before camp, possibly on arrival day and into camp as well. We are planning on doing daily temperature and symptoms screening. We're at this point, if things continue as they are, we would be asking campers to quarantine after they've had their pre-camp COVID test to make sure that they don't get exposed from the time that they have that test until arriving at camp. We are changing our regular meals in the dining hall to having 2 different seatings so that only half the camp is in the dining hall at any time. We're going to be having our activities outside as much as possible, which isn't that hard because most of our activities are already done outside. And we're hiring additional health center staff this year. And as it says at the bottom, we are committed to keeping everyone safe and healthy this year. And as I said, my name's Alana. I'm one of the directors, and you can reach me quite easily at info@campkodiak.com. And our website is just campkodiak.com. And as I said before, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, thank you. That was great. Next up for the presentation is Chris with Hidden Acres.
Awesome. Thanks so much, everybody. It's good to connect and be here. My name is Chris Pott. I'm the program director at Hidden Acres Mennonite Camp and Retreat Center. And we are located just west of Kitchener-Waterloo, so just outside of New Hamburg. So about half an hour or so, depending on where you are in the KW region. And I'm just going to share my screen as well. And hopefully it works better this time than last. So hopefully that can be seen by everybody. If not, someone just jump on and give a shout and I will problem solve. But if I don't hear anything, I'll assume all is good. We're excited to be running camp again this year. We didn't run any day or overnight programs last year, so we're really excited to have folks back again. It's also good to go second and hear somebody else share. There's a lot of things I'm like, I didn't put that on my list of things to share. The challenge is when you only have 5 minutes to talk about camp, there's so much to put in that space that it's hard to cover it all. So I have a slide as well at the end with our website and contact information. So recognize that I won't be able to cover everything in this short amount of time, but you can jump on our website or ask a question, and happy to clarify anything or provide more information. This summer for camp, our plan is to do things a little bit different than we typically would. Generally, we're an overnight camp with 1 day camp option. This year, we're going to aim to do a month of day camps and a month of overnight camps. So as you can see on the slide here, in July, and I'm going to make this little fancy pointer so I can direct your vision different places. But Aiming to do a couple weeks of children's day camps right at the beginning of July for 5 to 12-year-olds. We have a camp for single moms and their children. Traditionally, that's overnight. This year, we're going to do 1 week of day camp for single moms and their children. And then a week of what we call SIAC, and SIAC stands for Supported Young Adults Camp. So it's for young adults with special needs, and the day camp option is going to be 16 to 35. So that's what we're aiming to do in July. And then in August, our hope is that we'll be able to do overnight camps. Our plan is to offer a single moms overnight camp, and then a couple weeks of overnight camp for kids, one 10 to 15 years of age and one 6 to 12 years of age, and then a SIAC overnight camp for 18 to 35-year-olds. We have a couple of other programs. We do a basketball camp. We have a leadership development program, an LIT program as well. But these are the camps that we have extra staff support for campers who may need it. So if you're interested in a basketball camp or the LIT program, there's information on our website, but these are the ones where we provide either one-to-one or other levels of support. What does support look like at camp, and what does camp look like as a whole? I mean, in some ways we've got a similar setup to Camp Kodiak, where we have cabins. Again, Camp Kodiak touched on some of the uncertainties, and we're in the same boat. There's uncertainties. We're not sure exactly what capacities will be and what cohorting will look like, and how many campers and staff will be in each cabin. But typically our ratios are around 2 to 3 to 1 overall in our camp program. We can provide one-to-one support with our own trained staff for campers if it's needed. So for those campers who might need a staff member with them basically all the time, and we have staff who can do that. We also have some spots within our registration system for campers who maybe during some times of the day are quite independent and can connect and get involved in relationships and friendships at camp, but not necessarily need extra staff support to do that. But there's always a staff member close by who can step in if needed. And so we have a couple of different levels of support based on the individual needs of each camper. And they're included in our cabins and in our programs. And the goal is always for them to get involved and participate and build friendships with campers without staff support. But if needed, our staff are there to help out. In terms of some of the activities that we have at camp, we've got, you can sort of see in the aerial photo here, it's a little bit of a shot of camp. So we've got our spring-fed pond, what we call Lake Laverne. So there's swimming and canoeing. We've got basketball courts down here. There's playgrounds, there's fields. There's some stuff not on this shot as well. We've got a climbing tower and a low ropes course, and we do archery and outdoor skills. So fire building, shelter building, things like that, environmental education or exploring nature. A big part of what we do, crafts and drama and skits and games, singing if we're able to, lots of different activities that we'll do each a week, regardless of whether they're day camp or overnight camp. Currently, our registration is open. We've started registering for camp. Our overnight programs have filled up quite quickly because we have fewer than what we typically would, and our capacities are reduced right now. So we do not have a lot of spaces for extra support at this point. There are some in our day programs, but overnight camps, there's only a couple of spots left. But we would encourage families, if they're interested, to sign up and put your name on the wait list if there's not a spot now, as we get more information from Public Health and our provincial camp association, and get a better idea of what we can and cannot do this summer. We'll be able to decide whether we can open up more spots and increase capacities and things like that. So the sooner you get on the wait list, the sooner you might have a chance to come to camp this morning. But like I said, our day camp programs have a lot of space at this point. COVID in camp for us this summer. On our website, there's a document that we are updating regularly that sort of outlines all of this information. But just to give you a few key points, I talked earlier about our Plan A and what that looks like for summer. We also have a Plan B just in case we're unable to run overnight camps for some reason. The plan right now is to shift all of those to day camps, and we would do day camps all summer long instead of doing any overnight camps. Like I mentioned, we are still waiting on some more guidelines from public health and from the OCA. Once we get those, we'll be able to sort of get a better idea of what's expected. But like Camp Kodiak mentioned, there'll probably be some level of cohorting and mass and testing and a variety of different things required. And once we get that information, we will put plans in place to implement them before we get to the summer, and we commit to communicating that to families as soon as we can once we have that information. We've also evaluated our cleaning and sanitizing and hygiene practices and what that looks like at camp, and we'll continue to update those as we get more information as well. We also this year updated our cancellation policy. So registration is open and we do require a deposit, but if a camper needs to cancel for any reason connected to COVID-19, we'll provide a refund or we'll carry those fees to 2022. So there's no financial risk due to COVID-19. So if you're looking to sign up, you can do that knowing that you won't be out if COVID-19 impacts camp in some way, shape, or form this summer. And our goal is really just to make camp feel as much like camp as possible. We know that COVID and this pandemic has had some pretty drastic impacts on all of our lives. And we want camp to be a place where kids and staff can come and have fun and build friendships and connect and learn and grow and be a part of safe community. But we also want to balance that with keeping everybody safe, our campers and our staff and families, and find a really healthy balance between those two aspects. So again, we're really looking forward to camp again. We really missed camp last summer. And if you do have any questions, throw them in the chat or connect with us outside of this evening. And you can check out our website, so hiddenacres.ca. You can send us an email or give us a phone call. Again, my name is Chris Pott, and thanks for taking some time to listen. And I think I'm out now.
Okay, so we are now going to have Adrian present from Camp Shalom or at Countryside Camp.
Hello, I'm Adrian. I'm from Countryside Camp and Camp Shalom. It's confusing. We have two names, but our facility is called Countryside Camp and Conference Center. We run a summer camp program called Camp Shalom. So I'm going to share my screen now. There we go. So I just have a bunch of pictures to go, just kind of showing all the general awesomeness of camp is going to go by as I talk for a little while. So we run both overnight and day camp programs for both kids and adults who have special needs. And we're located just south of Cambridge, between Cambridge and Paris. So only about half an hour or so from the Kitchener-Waterloo area. So pretty conveniently located. And our ages run all the way from, we'll take them kids coming out of senior kindergarten going into grade 1, all the way until we had an 80-year-old lady come one year. So the campers don't age out of our program. So most of our campers in our special needs programs are adults, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old even are our campers. So we really take campers of all ages. So we run a kids camp for kids who don't have special needs for about half of our summer. And then we have an integration program for kids who do have special needs who are integrated into our kids camp program. And then we also run specialized programs for adults, so 18 years old and older, for adults who have special needs. And then we run a couple programs where everyone in the entire camp, so usually about 60 to 70 per week, are all adults who have special needs. And then we run a couple other programs that run alongside our kids camp program that are a little bit more challenging, have a little extra challenges to it, and they run alongside our kids camp program. So we have a beautiful 135-acre facility, like I said, just outside of Cambridge. We actually just celebrated our 50th anniversary a couple of years ago. So we've been running both the kids camp and the program for adults who have special needs for quite some time now. So we provide support for what we define as low needs. So I like to explain that mostly by we don't provide lifting. So campers need to be able to toilet themselves and mostly be able to eat themselves, mostly be able to dress themselves with just verbal cues and that sort of stuff. So we have 4 different programs for our adults who have special needs. Our largest and most popular program is just called Special Support. And so in that program, our entire camp is adults who have special needs, usually about 60 to 70. And then we hire around 35 staff for that. We hire 2 healthcare staff and 3 lifeguards, so usually an RN and an assistant, so either a nursing student or an RPN or something like that. And then we hire about 30 other staff. We have about 4 or 5 campers in a cabin to 1 counselor. Gives you a rough idea of what our ratios look like. And in our special support program, we have a pool, a splash pad, a water slide. We do canoeing, we have crafts, of course. We have lots of fun music. We often have a visit from the fire truck. We usually have a petting zoo. Sometimes we might have like a magic show or something like that. And then we run 3 other more specialized programs. So these are the programs I was mentioning earlier that run alongside our kids camp program. So about 3/4 of the camp will be kids who don't have special needs. And then we have a couple smaller programs of adults who do have special needs. So one of these programs is called Spec Trek. So that is our wilderness program. So we'll have about 8 campers, adults who have special needs, and they'll go on a day-long canoe trip. They'll go camping out in tents. They might do archery or slingshots or go on hikes. So it has a wilderness focus to it. Another one is Spec Sports, which is pretty self-explanatory, which has a sports focus. You know, they'll do archery and soccer and basketball, and it runs alongside our kids camp program. So sometimes they might do, like for something like soccer, they'll integrate it in with the soccer program with the kids, and the adults with special needs will go along with that. Our 4th program that we have for offer for our adults with special needs is Spec Arts. So then we have an arts focus, but both visual arts like drawing and painting. Last year, or I guess 2 years ago, we had graffiti artists in to do some teaching with our campers. But then also they'll do things like dance and music and that sort of stuff. You know, we're a Christian camp, and that's a huge part of what we do. You know, we really have a focus on that each one of our campers is valuable and created by God and is made in God's image, just like we are. And you know, we teach that to our staff, to teach our campers and to treat our campers with respect, and to constantly show them, be an example of God's love to them, and to teach them that Jesus' sacrifice on the cross for our sins is for them too. And you know, that's really the most important thing we do at camp is you know, we're an example of God's love and Jesus' love to our campers. So we've delayed registration. Registration is going to open on March 1st. Normally it would have been open a long time ago, but you know, due to COVID, we've delayed it to March 1st. So that's only a couple weeks away. Our camps run from Sunday to Monday, or sorry, from Sunday to Friday. You know, like everyone else, you know, I echo what the other camps have already said. You know, we're going to follow meet or exceed all of the guidelines that the public health is putting out. We'll operate in cohorts, like other people have said, increase sanitation. We're hiring more maintenance staff to do regular sanitation of high contact areas. You know, where we'll wear masks, do screening, all that sort of stuff that's required. We're not far away, so I love giving out tours. Now I realize that's not entirely possible at the moment. Hopefully as summer gets closer, I'd love to be able to give out tours again. Like I said, we're only about half hour away from Kitchener Waterloo area, so I love giving people tours of our facility. So you can just email me at adrian@countrysidecamp.com, or again, our website is countrysidecamp.com. and all the information's there. Registration is going to open March 1st. If you have any questions, jump on the website, send me an email, and hopefully we can have a tour sometime as the summer gets closer. I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Adrian. Next up, we have Kaylee from Shadow Lake.
Okay, hi everybody. Thank you for having me today. I'm very excited to be representing Shadow Lake. I'm the camp coordinator there, and so let me just pull up my presentation. All right, so Shadow Lake is located in Whitchurch-Stouffville, and it's a camp that's offered to adults, youth, and children with special needs to offer an inclusive and accessible camp experience. So Shadow Lake Camp is owned and operated by Community Living Toronto, and we've been owned by Community Living Toronto since 1965. We have 300 acres of beautiful property, including a private lake with a beachfront and lots of amazing hiking trails in our outback. We have 13 cabins equipped with AC and heat, one fully accessible cabin, including a walk-in shower and a ceiling lift track. We have a fully accessible dining hall where all meals are served, an indoor recreational space. We have a great sports barn equipped with basketball, hockey, badminton, and volleyball nets, as well as an arts and crafts center. And so our sessions run from Sunday morning until Saturday afternoon. Staffing, meals, and accommodation are all provided for the week. And we also offer support ratios from 5-to-1 support all the way to 1-to-1 support. And we have a number of themed weeks we offer too that are all available on our website, including a new week that we're offering known as Steps to Independence, where it's a mixture of independent living skills as well as fun camp activities. And so a typical day in the life at Shadow Lake Center, we have many activities, including boating, swimming, sports, arts and crafts, campfires, tuck, talent shows, and so much more. Shadow Lake is a non-structured environment, meaning that campers have a choice in which activities they wish to engage in. And we have excellent staff that really create good, engaging, inclusive, and accessible programming geared more towards the interests of our individuals too. As you see, we have lots of COVID-19 policies in place that we've started to create. These are all available on our website and in our newsletter too. Some of these include that we've already had hand washing and hand sanitizing stations installed at all the entrances of our building as well as around our property. Our staff are equipped with portable hand washing kits. We have a strict cleaning schedule now with a bigger team of cleaners that go around the camp throughout the day. As well as we do pre-screening, and then at the time of arriving at camp, we will be doing a screening. As well as we're able to offer our campers their own private rooms with a door, so they're able to social distance a little bit more while in the cabin and in closed spaces. Summer 2021 is going to be looking a little bit different for us as we're learning to navigate with all of these new policies. So due to COVID, our ratios at this time will be 5-to-1, 4-to-1, and 3-to-1, but we are hoping to move back to the 2-to-1 and 1-to-1 ratios as well in the near future. We've also reduced our maximum capacity to 20 campers per session just to allow for more space as we're learning to navigate all of these changes. And we also are offering a pricing flat rate. And so you're able to apply now on My Community Hub and pay later once we're able to confidently say that we're able to run safely as long as we're consulting with public health as well as the Ontario Camps Association. And speaking, so virtual programming, we're actually offering virtual programming right now, also available through My Community Hub. We're offering a morning session and an evening session of fun activities. So if you're interested in that, feel free to check it out, or you can reach out to me for more information. And we're also going to be running a virtual March break camp. If you're interested in this, stay tuned to learn about when applications will be made available through My Community Hub. And including your week of fun, we'll also be mailing out camp kits filled with everything you need to participate. And if you're interested in staying in the know or being updated on many of our programs, feel free to email the Shadow Lake office, and we'd be happy to add you to our mailing list. And so please feel free to check us out on all of our social media platforms. We're very active on it. On our Facebook page, every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock, we do a Facebook Live with some of our staff. So it's a great chance to get to know some of the faces that work at Shadow Lake, and we love doing fun and engaging programming. And if you have any questions at all, there's our contact information, and we're more than happy to answer anything or just consult with you if it's a good place for your family members or loved ones. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kaylee. Next up, we have Maddie from Bellwood.
All right, awesome. I hope everyone can see my slides up here. So my name's Maddie. I'm the director at Bellwood Lodge and Camp. We're an overnight camp for children, youth, and adults with intellectual disabilities. Since 1946, we've supported individuals with autism and other spectrum disorders, as well as Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, acquired brain injuries, and other intellectual disabilities at our program, which is located in Bellwood, Ontario, just outside of Fergus, near Guelph, for those of you who aren't familiar. Great. So, whoops. To the next slide here. Oh. Sorry, I'll try and get rid of that so you can see it. Okay. There we go. Great. So as I mentioned, we support a wide age range. So anyone who's 7 years of age and older has a place at our camp. Our adult sessions are available to anyone over the age of 18, and we group our lodgers based on their age and interests to ensure that everyone has a great time while they're at camp. Our program offerings are the typical summer camp activities. So we have sports and crafts and drama and games, and a fully accessible pool program, which is always a camper favorite, especially on those hot summer days. And all of our programs are designed to support social skills and friendship building, and to create memories that last a lifetime. And all of our session dates are up here on the slides here. So you can take a look at those, and they'll be on our website as well. So moving on, we have our, oops. There we go. So our kids camp programs are separate programs offered for children who are aged 7 to 18. And in typical years, we offer unique kids camp sessions at a different time from our adult camp. However, given all of the programming changes that are happening this summer due to COVID-19, we're able to offer kids camp cohorts that will be in parallel with our all ages camps. So these cohorts will run completely independently with all programming and care geared towards the needs of our youth campers. And so we're currently offering 2 session options for children. There's one 11-day session and one 7-day session as well. And as registration opens and we kind of gauge interest, we may be opening other sessions to children as well. So stay tuned for that. Great, so moving on to our typical day at Bellwood Lodge and Camp. The days are always full of fun with activities geared towards both high energy and low level energy levels. And we ensure there's kind of options for everyone and that meet everyone's interest. Meal times, we offer traditional camp foods with a well-balanced meal plan and options for everyone, and we're able to accommodate most special diets. Our kitchen works hard to make sure that everyone gets what they need at meal times. Great. So moving on to our accommodations and staff. So our cabins are comfortable, spacious, and accessible camper cabins. In each cabin will host about 4 to 5 campers for this summer, just because of the reduced capacity this year. And each cabin will have 2 staff members living in the cabin with our campers. So we will have very high ratios this summer of staff to lodgers. Our counseling staff are 18 years of age or older and are in post-secondary education, oftentimes studying to work with people with disabilities in the future. And we fully provide on-site training in personal care and behavior management to ensure that all of our staff are able to provide the best care possible for our campers. And they're able to help with any personal care needs that campers have. So we have as well 2 nurses on site, and they can administer medication and help with any healthcare needs that arise for our campers. So we screen our applicants to ensure that they can be safely supported at our facility, and as well will be successful in our camp program. So we're not able to support individuals who require one-to-one care. And we're also unable to support those who use G-tube feeding tubes or have been restrained within the last year. But if you have any questions about our eligibility, please reach out to us and we can help you through all of our application process and make sure that Bellwood is a great fit for your camper. So of course, COVID-19 has impacted our camp program significantly. We ran virtual camp last summer, and we're really looking forward to getting back on site and running camp this summer. So we will be running a cohort style camp. And of course, everything is subject to change between now and summer, but we do have lots of safety plans in place, things that have already been mentioned, and we'll follow, public health guidance and the OCA guidance, and we'll do whatever we can to keep everyone as safe as possible at camp. So we will try and communicate as best as we can with everyone what those policies are, and make sure that everyone registered knows before camp starts what's in place with all of our COVID-19 policies. So that could include pre-camp testing and quarantine, and all the things that have already been mentioned. Great, so thanks so much, everyone. Please feel free to get in touch with me if you have any questions at all about our camp program or what life looks like at Bellwood Lodge and Camp, and hopefully we'll see some of you this summer. So.
Okay, thank you, Maddie. We're going to move on to Andy, who will be presenting about Camp Awakening.
Hi there. So my name is Andy, and I'm the Assistant Director at Camp Awakening. And we're going to show a short video, and then I'm going to tack on some facts after. So let's see the video first.
All right, I'm going to jump on and share the video from this end here.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that for me. So I just wanted to point out that when we are able to run a regular summer, so before 2020, canoe trips are a really big part of our program. So most of our sessions do involve a kind of everything from an overnight canoe trip to a 5 to 7 day canoe trip in and around various parts of Ontario. And we do have a fairly narrow criteria. So we are a camp for youth with physical disabilities. And so what we ask in our application session is that campers are reasonably independent. So our staff do support with toileting and eating and dressing and all those things, but campers should be able to direct their own care. And then this year, like everybody else, and as COVID progresses, or hopefully doesn't progress, we are kind of waiting to see what our summer is going to look like, just like everybody else. So at the moment, I think we're on plan, I don't know, X at this point, is we are looking at July to run virtual programming again. So the camp at home stuff where campers will get mailed camp in a box activities, and then we meet online for cabin group meetings and different games and different things like that. And then in August, we're hoping to be able to run in-person camps at both Kilku Camp for boys and Camp Oconto for girls. But again, we're just waiting to see. So that just means that at the moment, our applications aren't open yet, but we're hoping to know more kind of mid-March. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always happy to chat and happy to explain more details as they come forward.
Okay, thank you. We have Elise next from Camp Kennebeck, and hopefully your internet is stable now.
Great, thank you. As Cheryl has mentioned, my internet is a bit unstable, so hopefully we will get through this because I'm not an IT professional, I'm a camp director. But let's go ahead and get started. I am Elise. I'm one of 3 camp directors from Camp Kennebeck. We are an overnight summer camp program, and in regular years also offer a 2-week March break program. We offer programs starting at age 6, and we go all the way up. Our longest running camper, I think she's been with camp since Dawn, our other director, was a counselor, and she's still here. It's very important to us that we maintain a very tight bond with our families. We really consider Camp Kennebeck to be a community. We work really hard to get to know every camper prior to their arrival, and work hard with their home teams as well to really set everything up prior to that camper arriving so that that transition is a bit easier. We also like working with home teams so that we can learn what campers are working on at home so that we can really work to generalize those skills. For our campers, social skills, obviously, as we all know, is their weakest area for most of our campers. We work really, really hard to make sure that we work on socializing between campers, and we do special training throughout our training week with our counselors in order to do so. I am going to share with you guys one of our promo videos, and afterwards I'll just throw in few more facts for you. So if you can't see or hear this properly, please let me know, and I will fix that for you.
Why should parents choose Kennebeck? Because they're going to get an amazing summer camp experience for their child.
Cater to a wide variety of kids with different exceptionalities, from kids on the autism spectrum, kids with ADD, ADHD, Down syndrome, learning disabilities.
So we take a very individual approach when trying to meet the needs of each camper. So we include that in our 2-to-1 ratio. We meet every camper prior to the summertime to discuss what their individual needs are and how we can support them best in the camp environment. We run an individual program here at Kennebeck, so the kids actually get to choose all their own activities.
We have a wide variety of activities ranging from water skiing, wakeboarding, tubing, kayaking, canoeing, paddle boats, trampolining. We have horseback riding, high ropes.
People tell me this is their new home.
I love you all, Camp Kennebeck.
So if you're not a kid that enjoys the water, if there's a sport going on, or arts and crafts, or music, there's definitely going to be something for you at camp. We definitely get a wide mix of different campers, some that have never been outdoors, some that don't like the bugs. We give them a lot of attention, and we hire very dedicated and passionate staff.
I love working here with the kids. I love the environment. I love the fun that we have together with our campers. I do feel like you get to be your best self while you're here.
I think it's very character building, but it's the best thing that you'll ever do.
It's one of the best experiences I've ever had.
I don't think you can ever find the magic of this place anywhere else.
I want to come back every summer.
We take a lot of pride in the fact that we try to get to know each of them.
Are we starting? My favorite thing is the ropes. My favorite activity probably would be woodworking.
Best Canadian camp I've ever been to.
It is amazing for me to be here.
It's many things. I can't think of just one word.
Intriguing. Fun. Relaxing.
Breathtaking.
Amazing.
We just work so hard to give them a typical summer that every kid deserves at a summer camp.
It's neat to hear from the parents of the passions that their kids have discovered here at camp, sending videos of kids going water skiing or down the zip line. It's amazing to see those kids blossom and try those things and having the parents go, "What did you do?" Gave them a chance to be a kid at summer camp and try out these things that they haven't had a chance to experience before.
So that's us. Like it mentioned in the video, we have a fun first philosophy, and it is our greatest passion to allow any camper to experience summer camp.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our 36th session. We'll be discussing history and insights to surgery with Dr. Lynn.
Something is happening to my video. Hello, are we good? Great, sorry about that. Like we mentioned, camp is our greatest passion, and ensuring that every camper is allowed the right to attend a summer camp and have a great time is very important to us. So even if you might not think that Kennebeck is the program for you, we are very happy to help families find the resources that they need to in order to find the right fit. Because as we mentioned, that ability to be without mom and dad at an overnight program or a day program increases their ability to self-advocate. It allows for more independence and ultimately increases confidence in kids, adults, and teens, especially those who have exceptionalities. If you want to chat more, please don't hesitate to reach out. I am going to share one last thing with you guys, and that's that we run monthly info nights, and they are virtual. So if you would like to attend, you are more than welcome to. It is right here. Our next info night will be February 16th at 2021 from 7 to 9. And all three of us directors plus another one of the owners will be present at the information night, available to answer private questions, anything that you may want, and also teach you guys about what our program is and if it is the right fit for your camper. We accept a wide variety of campers and are always happy to chat about the individual needs of your camper. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so next we have Kate, who's going to talk about the Easter Seals Camp.
Hey, so hi, I'm Kate. I'm a camp director with Easter Seals Ontario. So So many of you may have heard of Easter Seals. Some of you may access some of our services already. We have been providing services to children and youth with physical disabilities for almost 100 years. It'll be 100 years in 2022. One of the services we offer is our recreation and camping programs. So we've been offering fully accessible camping programs since 1937 for individuals with physical disabilities. And so, so really quickly, who are our campers? Like I mentioned, children, youth, and young adults. So our camps are open to ages 6 to 26 with physical disabilities. So our clients registered with Easter Seals Ontario. For those under the age of 19, camp is subsidized. So families only have to pay a small portion of the cost. And we do invite clients, once they age out of our funding from at the age of 19, they are still invited to come to camp until the age of 26. They just don't receive the subsidy. There is some additional eligibility criteria that applies to some of our camping programs, just as it pertains to the level of support needed. So some campers may not be eligible for our individual camp, but we do offer a family camp for those individuals, whether they're too young or their medical needs or other needs are too high to be accommodated with our staffing ratios. So we operate, Easter Seals Ontario owns and operates 2 summer camps, fully accessible summer camps, Camp Wood Eden and Camp Marywood. Each camp is designed to host approximately 72 campers at a time, and typically with a similar number of staff. Camper cabins are air conditioned and fully accessible. Both camps offer a wide variety of traditional camp programming, as well as some programs that are unique to each site. So at Camp Wood Eden, which is located in London, it's located on over 100 acres filled with accessible pathways and gardens. It's a very beautiful site. The big selling feature of Wood Eden is the fully accessible high ropes course and climbing wall, as well as a beautiful indoor gym, archery, swimming pool, sledge hockey. We also offer pottery. We have an accessible tree house, just to name a few of the activities that go on at Camp Wood Eden. Our second camp is Camp Marywood, which is located in Perth. So it's a small town, pretty much smack dab in the middle of Kingston and Ottawa, so about an hour from each of those cities. So it's located on a peninsula on the Lower Rideau Lake. And because we're on the waterfront at Marywood, we offer accessible sailing, canoeing, kayaking, as well as we have a swimming pool, wheelchair basketball, and other accessible sports, fishing, and we do offer out tripping. So typically those are 4-day out tripping, canoe camping trips off-site, and we do offer a longer one, which I'll mention a little bit later. So that's Camp Marywood. In terms of the camp experience, really our aim is to offer a traditional summer camp experience made accessible to all campers. So our sessions are typically 7 or 10-day sessions. Most of them are 10-day sessions, and we do offer one shorter 7-day session at each of the 2 camps each summer. We offer at minimum a 1 to 2 staff to camper ratio. So like I mentioned, typically we have about 72 campers and a similar number of staff, which is more, yes, that would be a 1-to-1 ratio, but we do say that accounting for staff on time off and handling other responsibilities, at minimum we'll have 1 to 2, if not better than that. And we have a fully equipped health facility, which is staffed by registered nurses. All of our staff are 18 years of age or older and pursuing post-secondary education. So the camps that we offer, we have just your typical individual camp, which is a wide variety of programming. And those are the 7 or 10-day sessions, overnight camps. Our discovery camp is for younger campers, so typically 6 to 12-year-olds. So whether the 7 to 10 days is a bit too long for them at a younger age, or it's their first time coming to camp, this is a 5-day session to really give them a taste of being away from home. They get to experience all of the camp activities while they're with us for 5 days. And it's a much smaller group. Typically we have 8 to 12 campers in that kind of cohort doing their own programming alongside the rest of the camp. We offer a 7-day sports camp at Marywood. So it's a heavy sports focus, a few non-sports programming, but typically we bring in guests to deliver, whether it's wheelchair rugby, bocce, yeah, any form of accessible sport. We run a triathlon, which is always a hit. So that's a 1-week sports camp. We run a 1-week adventure camp, which is a 7-day out trip to Algonquin Park. So typically we have about half a dozen campers that will do that for a canoe trip in Algonquin Park. Leaders and training program we offer throughout the summer in 10-day sessions. So similar to a lot of camps, this is for the older campers. So we say 17 to 26-year-olds, provide them with leadership opportunities, some life skills training, and for some of them looking at the potential to join the staff team in the future. And then we do offer family camp. So because we offer a 1-to-2 staff to camper ratio, we're not able to accept campers that require full-time one-to-one support. So if a camper requires that, they may be a better fit for family camp, in which they come with family and we provide staff to support with the programming. That being said, in our individual camps, we have a wide variety of campers. We have some campers who are totally dependent in all areas of daily living, from dressing to bathing, eating, toileting. And then we do have many campers who are moderately dependent or at least partially independent in some areas, and some campers who are nearly fully independent in most areas of daily life. So there's a wide range in terms of not only ages, but also abilities and support needs of our campers. So the 2020-2021 reality for us was, like every other overnight camp, there was no camp in 2020 due to COVID-19, and there's a lot of uncertainties remaining for 2021. Given we had a very successful pivot to Camp Easter Seals, a virtual camp experience in 2020, this is something that we've continued in the off season and will continue for the summer of 2021, regardless of what in-person camp looks like. Camp Easter Seals provided campers with an opportunity to connect to camp, engage with others, and to learn new skills from the comfort and safety of home. And new in 2021, we're adding a bit of a new option for our remote programming, more specifically a camp at home program, an offline version for campers who don't have the virtual access, but where all the materials from the virtual program are delivered physically to them to participate offline, if that's a better fit. So like I mentioned, this is ongoing with regular programming. We had regular programming through the fall, and now through the winter. We offered a 5-day intensive session over the winter break, and we'll be offering a virtual March break camp as well, which features weekly campfires. And so I guess this is for the summer as well, which will be another 8 weeks of virtual camp. So weekly campfires, daily morning flagpole videos, camp at home program activities, virtual cabin challenges, special guest sessions, opportunities for socialization on a daily basis, and weekly banquets, kind of gatherings together. So we developed a unique web platform for this. So campers have a member ID and they log in and they can access all the content and engage with their peers within the platform. The big one of our big goals behind the virtual programming is that it's accessible to all campers and families as they're able to participate. So there's no minimum commitment for participation. We do offer a mixture of live and pre-recorded content, but anything that's delivered live is recorded and shared so that campers who weren't able to join for the live session are able to watch it back after. And all program activities are available for the duration of the session and beyond, so that campers can participate when they have the support and the resources they need to do so. Yeah, so that's it. Feel free to reach out, send messages in the chat or in the Q&A after, and you can always send an email to us at camp@easterseals.org. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move on to our last camp in our formal part before we take our question and answer. So Bethany is on.
Oh, awesome. Let me just unmute myself. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to pull up my presentation. Alrighty. So as my introduction already said, my name is Bethany and I am from Camp Buff. I am the summer camp director here to speak with you guys. Camp Buff is located in Rockwood, so that's just outside of Guelph, about 20 minutes. And we are a year-round outdoor education as well as summer camp facility. We operate on a 110-acre land, and we have a basketball court, canoe pond, crayfish pond, volleyball court, pool, and multiple camping sites to accommodate lots of outdoor adventure. The goal of the CYO and Camp Buff is to serve our youth in the communities around us and give them a positive experience in nature. Specifically today, we're going to be talking about our inclusion program, or a one-to-one program that we offer. And we offer this in order to integrate any campers into our regular summer camp programming. So the goal of our program is to integrate children with exceptionalities into all of the programming during our week. And so maybe if it's something as simple as time away from the group or a modified programming, anything like that that's required to make your child's experience the best possible, our inclusion counselors are there to help you out. We cater to a large variety of disabilities. I believe I saw someone in the questions earlier asking about verbal. In the past, we've had a lot of campers who are nonverbal, so we can accommodate for that as well. Perfect. So shown there right on the screen is the ages of our campers. So we divide our campers up by age and gender for our overnight camp. But for our day camp, they're just divided up by their age. We serve campers starting at age 5 all the way until 16. If they're interested in any leadership opportunities, they are available. Unfortunately, it's not on my screen right now, but we do have some experiences for our older high school age campers. We're a traditional adventure-based camp, so we focus more on just everyday camp life. And we offer different kinds of activities like our challenge course, archery, nature rotations, arts and crafts, sports, pools. We do sleep outs as well as canoeing and our outdoor survival. For our day camp program, all of the activities that the campers will be doing will be based on their age and ability and their skill level. And if they're in our overnight program, then they do have more of an opportunity to explore any of the activities that we have available and try their hand and see if they would like that. We also do offer interest groups, and that's a time in the day where our campers can try something new. These activities are offered by our program staff or our counselors, and it's really just a chance for them to share some of their own special skills that we don't already offer with the campers that attend our programs. Okay. So like I said, in this presentation, we're kind of learning a little bit more about our inclusion program. So we can accommodate different kinds of campers' needs, whether it's a one-to-one program or a 2-to-1. We do have the availability with our staff to accommodate those ratios, as well as if you would like your camper to participate and bring their own support person, we do have availability in our registration so that we can allow that person to come on board with us. All of our programs are adaptable and support is given to the campers while they do it. When the campers arrive at their program area, the program staff will be running it. That way their inclusion counselor can focus directly with them and help them excel through the program. Sorry. Going to talk about our camp staff a little bit more. All of our camp staff are over the age of 18 and they're in the process of pursuing their post-secondary education. Some may have specialized career goals towards working with these certain types of individuals, or some may just be interested in working with children and youth in general. Regardless of their background, they will all go through the same kind of camp training. So we'll offer a variety of virtual training as well as in-person training as we get closer to the summer. They'll also be receiving training for their specific areas. So our high risk areas like our climbing and our water activities, they will receive specific training for that, as well as our inclusion counselors will undergo training with their inclusion support so that they are able to accommodate anything that they receive during the summertime. like I said previously, they all have different educational backgrounds and experiences, so they are able to use those experiences in our camp setting. Our staff are able to assist with the daily needs as well as any social skills that our campers may need help with. Depending on your camper's needs, you can fill out our application that will be sent to you, and I want you to be as specific as possible with your camper's needs so that we can accommodate them. Quickly, I'll just talk about our facilities. So it is an all-inclusive week here at camp. There is no additional charge for our inclusion program. So you will not be charged a fee on top of a regular camp registration if your camper does need that assistance. Our cabins are a classic red camp cabin. They are accessible if your child does have accessibility needs, as well as our dining hall and our pavilion are accessible for our campers to use. Camp and COVID. This past summer, we were able to run, and we did run a modified day camp program. And it looked a lot different than we usually do. So we will be continuing to build on our guidelines from last summer and also take into consideration the guidelines that the government will be releasing for all of our camps to run. So we will probably be running it with a combination of our masks and social distancing, and we will promise to meet or exceed any guidelines that are put out. We have such large outdoor green spaces that we are able to take a few steps back and take off our mask if we need to, as well as we understand that certain campers are not able to wear their masks at all times. So we will work with the families and whatever the ability is of the camper in order to make sure that they can be successful here at camp. Yeah, currently our applications are open. Right now I'm just checking the registration to make sure, but I just checked and all of our weeks are available. None of them are sold out, but I would put in your application sooner rather than later because those do tend to fill up as we get closer to the summer. If you're interested in learning anything more about camp, you can take a look on our website. It's camperbuff.ca. That shows all of our different programs that we offer throughout the summer as well as through the school year. Or if you just want to catch up and see what we're doing, we do go live on Facebook every Tuesday and Thursday with our outdoor education staff. If you have any questions for me, then you can put them in the chat below and I'd be happy to help answer them.
Okay, thanks, Bethany. So that ends our formal part of the presentation. So we are going to stop recording now